Welcome back to Global Bike Buzz, the place where riders from around the world get the latest updates and in-depth reviews on everything two-wheeled. Today we're taking a deep dive into one of the most enduring, quirky, and much-loved small dual sport motorcycles out there. Yes, you guessed it, the Yamaha TW200. But this isn't just any model year. We're talking about the 2026 Yamaha TW200, a machine that has kept its charm for decades while carefully evolving to meet the needs of riders who want something simple, rugged, and capable of going almost anywhere. So let's roll into the details and see what makes this little fat-tired legend such a standout in today's market. When you first lay eyes on the 2026 Yamaha TW200, the front immediately catches attention. The round headlight, still classically shaped but now given a slightly updated housing, maintains that retro dual sport look that fans of the TW love. Yamaha has added a cleaner LED lighting system, which means better visibility for nighttime rides and a sharper glow that doesn't drain the battery as much as the older halogen setup. The front fender hugs the tire just enough to deflect mud and gravel without looking bulky. You also notice those chunky, balloon-like tires right away. The big front wheel, wrapped in its oversized knobby rubber, screams adventure before you even turn the key. The handlebars are upright and wide, giving riders the leverage they need when maneuvering at low speeds or when tackling rough, uneven terrain. Slide your eyes along the side of the TW200 and its proportions stand out in their own way. It isn't a tall, intimidating dual sport. Instead, it looks approachable, compact, and friendly, exactly what Yamaha has intended for years. The gas tank, with its modest 1.8-gallon capacity, has been given fresh graphics for 2026. They reflect a modernized style without losing the rugged simplicity of the bike's heritage. The seat remains long, flat, and comfortably padded, perfect for either solo rides or carrying a passenger when needed. The low seat height of just 31 inches makes it accessible for shorter riders, while still comfortable enough for taller ones. You can really see how Yamaha designed this bike for inclusivity. The frame remains tubular steel, exposed in certain areas, giving the TW200 that raw, mechanical look that's both utilitarian and charming. From the back, the TW200 looks stout and purposeful. The large, square-profile rear tire dominates the view, giving the impression that this is a bike ready to plow through sand, dirt, mud, or gravel with equal ease. The taillight, also updated with LED technology, sits neatly under a minimalist rear fender. Yamaha has managed to keep the proportions balanced. Nothing feels out of place or exaggerated. The exhaust, still in its familiar upswept design, hugs the side and finishes with a compact muffler that's tucked in nicely so it won't snag on branches or obstacles when riding off-road. The rear rack, available as an accessory, makes it practical for carrying small gear, camping supplies, or just a backpack on longer adventures. Of course, the heart of any motorcycle is its engine, and the TW200 stays true to its tried and tested formula. For 2026, Yamaha has retained the same air-cooled, 196cc single-cylinder four-stroke engine. It's not the biggest, it's not the most powerful, but that's not what this bike is about. The motor produces around 16 horsepower and 11 pound-feet of torque, which might sound modest, but thanks to the bike's lightweight construction and short gearing, it delivers surprisingly capable performance in the right conditions. The carburetor has finally given way to fuel injection in 2026, which means smoother throttle response, better fuel economy, and easier cold starts, even in chilly weather. That's a welcome update that fans have been asking for, and Yamaha has finally delivered. The 5-speed transmission remains simple and reliable, with shifts that are smooth and predictable. This isn't a bike for high-speed highway cruising, but for local commutes, back roads, trails, and exploring. The engine is perfectly suited. Performance on the TW200 is unlike most other bikes, and that's exactly why it has such a cult following. Those big, fat tires give you an incredible amount of grip on loose surfaces. Sand dunes, rocky trails, and even snow become more manageable thanks to the extra flotation and traction the tires provide. On pavement, the TW200 is surprisingly stable. It won't win any races, but it's not meant to. Instead, it gives you a sense of stability and fun at moderate speeds. Around town, it's nimble, easy to park, and friendly to new riders who might feel overwhelmed by larger, taller dual sports. Out on the trail, it shines in slow, technical riding. The suspension remains basic, telescopic forks up front with 6.3 inches of travel and a single rear shock with 5.9 inches of travel. It's not designed for hardcore jumps or motocross-style punishment, but it's more than enough for the casual adventurer who wants to explore dirt paths, forest trails, or even some mild mountain terrain. The bike's weight, at about 278 pounds wet, is light enough to handle but heavy enough to feel stable in crosswinds or on uneven surfaces. Braking is simple and reliable, with a front disc brake and a rear drum brake. Some might say the rear drum feels outdated, but on a bike like the TW200, it's a design choice that works. It's easier to maintain, durable, and matches the rugged, simple philosophy of the bike. Riders who take the TW200 far off the beaten path appreciate this no-nonsense approach, where fewer things can go wrong. Another area where the TW200 shines is in its accessibility. This is a bike that welcomes new riders with open arms. The low seat height, predictable power delivery, and forgiving handling mean that someone brand new to motorcycling can hop on and feel comfortable right away. At the same time, seasoned riders often keep one in their garage because it's just plain fun. There's something about the TW200 that makes even a quick ride to the grocery store feel like an adventure. That's not something you can say about many motorcycles, especially in today's age of technology-packed machines. Now let's talk about the price. Yamaha has always positioned the TW200 as an affordable option, and that hasn't changed for 2026. With a starting MSRP of around $5,099 in the United States, it remains one of the most budget-friendly dual-sport motorcycles on the market. When you consider the reliability of Yamaha engineering, the simplicity of its design, and the sheer versatility it offers, that price makes it a very attractive option. The cost of ownership is low, fuel economy is excellent, often over 70 miles per gallon, and maintenance is straightforward. For riders who want an adventure bike without breaking the bank, the TW200 continues to deliver incredible value. As we wrap up this review, it's clear why the TW200 has endured for so long. Yamaha hasn't tried to reinvent the wheel. Instead, they've kept the essence of what makes this bike so special: rugged simplicity, fat-tired fun, and a charm that appeals to both beginners and experienced riders. The 2026 updates, like fuel injection and LED lighting, bring just enough modernization to keep it relevant, without taking away from its core identity. If you're looking for a motorcycle that can be a commuter, a trail buddy, and a weekend adventurer, all while being approachable and affordable, the Yamaha TW200 deserves a spot on your short list. That's it for today's deep dive into the 2026 Yamaha TW200.